What's the deal, y'all? JR the AR, and we are back with another episode of Colorblind Conversation Season 2. And today I have one of the people really helping keep the culture alive out here in Los Angeles. Has touched so many different aspects of the hip-hop scene. And you've probably seen his covers somewhere in your daily affairs, whether it's with 310 Baby, Lefty Gunplay, Big Hit, Zaytoven, the list goes on. He actually has an album that he's rolling out right now, the Undrgrnd tape. CEO of the Undrgrnd magazine, Undrgrnd Studios, my boy Pofsky. How we doing today?
Yes, sir. Chilling, bro.
Was that an okay intro?
Man, that was fire. Yeah, I really appreciate it. That was a fire intro, bro.
No problem. You got a lot going on, so I made sure to like rap as much as I could in like one little concise little piece. You feel me?
Yeah, no, for sure, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on the show. It's good to just vibe out and get my shit out there, bro. You know?
Hell yeah, that's what we here for. So I want to take it all the way back. Like, tell the people where you from and like what the early days were like for you.
Yeah, I mean, so I was born in the Valley area, and then I moved out to the 805, if you're familiar, like Ventura County.
Yeah.
So like Thousand Oaks literally is where I kind of grew up. Went to high school out there in Newberry Park, and then fast forward after high school, I met my boy Andrew Mason. He ended up putting me on the magazine because, you know, I've been an artist like long before the magazine even started. You know, I started playing guitar. I was 8 years old, started rapping when I was like 14. So yeah, it's been a crazy journey. And then he decided to make this magazine. And I think that's when it all kind of started to click, because I always was like a business guy too. And before the magazine, I was already like throwing shows and learning some of the business around music. So through the magazine, I've been able to really learn the business by doing stuff like you mentioned, the album and all sorts of stuff, man. It's been crazy. But yeah, you know, growing up in the 805, it was cool. More quiet area, you know, and like when we were able to, you know, start doing shows and doing the magazine, we kind of shook the scene up in the local community in the 805, and even that was dope at the time. And then
who did you have at some of your shows? Anyone I might know?
Well, Rosecrans Vic, who's actually on our newest mag that's about to come out, issue 12.
Shout out Rosecrans and Brown Bag, man.
Facts. Yeah, that's like one of my like big bros, bro. Like really look up to him, and I feel like he just like a great person. So yeah, we just knocked our shit out for our mag now. But yeah, he was at the first show like that I performed at, the first magazine show ever. Just random fun fact. He was probably the only person that you would just like know that was there. But then over time, we started bringing out AC Chike, Ruchi. We were involved in OGZ, RJ, Super Duper Kyle. We worked with, like doing a show with him in the 805. So we've done
some big hitters.
Yeah, you know, over time it became a lot bigger.
And you being up in the 805, like cultivating a scene that's a little out of the way of LA, like being from San Diego, I know how important that is to like bring everything, all the motion from like the central part of Southern California to your hometown. Like that's huge.
Yeah, for sure. It is. And like, especially because I was already like a fan of LA and a fan of different regions of music. So then to bring that back to our city and just bring the culture, like you said, just like the vibe, just creating the scene, creating the atmosphere for shows and for artists to kind of have that platform was really, really unique, you know? So.
What year did you first really start getting, when did you meet your partner, Andrew, and when did the magazine really start like getting into fruition?
Yeah. So like 2019 is when I met him. Well, really like 2018. I mean, when I graduated high school, we had kind of met, I think randomly on some shit, but like we didn't link until later. I mean, 2018, 2019. He invited me out to Boston. He was going to Boston University to like freestyle perform on the show and like be interviewed on the radio station way back, you know, when I was a lot younger. And so I really took that opportunity, went out there with a couple homies and went crazy with it, bro. And that was like the pre-Undrgrnd like story, you know what I'm saying? That's where it all birthed. Like D.O. Kane, GM Beats, they was there with me. They're still here like rocking with us to this day, you know? And so it's like, that was like the pre-Undrgrnd story when we went out to Boston and messed with Andrew before he graduated. And then essentially he got inspired by that and by seeing the scene and came home. He's like, let's do the mag, you know? And so I'd already been going hard on my music. That's around the time I met Vic. Shout out my boy, Sean Gomelski, G-Ski is what he go by and shit. And yeah, it's just crazy. He introduced me to Rosecrans Vic all that time back, bro. And I remember Vic just like elevating, You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just wild to see everybody out here. I remember meeting you a while ago, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Way back in the day, like 2-3 years ago.
yeah, you know? And it's funny just how fast time goes because now I'm like pretty solidified. I feel like when I first met you, I was like outside all the time, running around crazy. And now I got my own spot. I'm like so busy. I can't even, you feel me? Like,
Yeah,
I
bro.
can't
Like
even be outside like that anymore.
you got to really delegate what's the most important thing for you to do in any given day.
For real, bro. It'll be a lot.
But that's a blessing, though. You know what I mean? Because I know how it is when at first you're like straggling, trying to find those like consistent clientels and like trying to prove your worth to people to like get some motion going. But now you're at the point where like word of mouth has spread. So like people are tapping in with you for your services. And
yeah, definitely. And don't get me wrong, it's like still a hustle always, but feel good. Yeah, when you get those calls like, oh, so and so booked the studio for 12 hours. Like, oh, okay.
That's tough.
You feel me? Yeah, like that should be cool as hell, you know? So it's cool, man. We doing some fun stuff, man. I'm definitely blessed.
What, the studio and the magazine running concurrently, or did one start before the other?
Yeah, the magazine started 2020 January, so we're coming up on 5 years.
Right before COVID. That's crazy.
Yeah, right before COVID is actually insane. Our first show was January 17th, 2020, so it was lit, like totally normal vibes, and then COVID hit. But we had a show planned. It was like March 13th. So, and we still did it, like, but it happened like right as everyone was like super hesitant to go. And it was like COVID would just happen. You feel me?
Did it affect the turnout at all?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Definitely. Like it was pretty light. You feel me? The second show compared to the first one. Rightfully so. You know, there was a lot of hype behind that first show. Anyways, you know, and it was like all the same artists too. So it wasn't a different lineup. So, you know, rightfully so, it was less. But yeah, it was just like crazy to think about. And then, yeah, the studio been like 2 years. Well, like a year and a half. January would be 2 years.
Because the first studio you had, it was only like 2 or 3 rooms. You had the gun room.
Yeah.
And then like the LED room.
Yeah, well, there's technically 7 sets in there. So you got, right when you walk in, you got the welcome room with the vending machine and all the Hall of Fame, what I call it, all the magazines on the wall. I don't even consider that a set, but that's just like our welcome room. Then you got the LED hallway, right? When you walk in, that's like 4 LED lights that you can control all the colors on. Really cool for like silhouette shots and shit. Then you got the triangle, the LED triangle on the other side of it. You got the LED mirror box right there. You got that Los Angeles mural. You got the chain hallway with the LEDs and the caution tape. You got the casino, armory. Then my beautiful girlfriend right here made a magazine wall in the back. So it's like a collage of all of our magazines and shit with our logo up there. And yeah, and then we got the recording studio as well. So that's where we started. And then we just recently got like 2,500 more square feet.
Yeah, and you're using the hell out of it too. Like,
yeah.
When I came to the grand opening, I'm like, okay, he got a furry wall. He got a little bedroom set up. He got a kitchen. He got a strip club. Yeah. All within like such a compact space. But to the observer off of a camera lens and a music video, you would never know.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, we're going to have a big artist there tomorrow, like shooting a big video, you know? And it's like a big production outside, inside and everything. And
can you say who it is? This won't be out for like a week or 2.
I don't even want to say who it is yet, for real. But just, you know, once shit's done, then I could talk about it. But it hasn't happened yet. So
I'm big on not counting your chickens before they hatch. So.
Yeah, and just, I don't know, big artists, let them have their privacy and shit. You feel me? But yeah, bro, it's just exciting, and the studio has came a long fucking way. But I know there's like a big potential still for it too. You know what I mean? Like I can get a lot more business still, and I even have different ideas I want to do with it to just like continue to service the community, build the community, and of course continue to be a lucrative business, of course, you know.
What were some of the struggles first establishing the studio space?
Well, you know, downstairs, it's like a lot of the building was like definitely a big struggle this time for some reason. The first time upstairs, it was easy. We just knocked it out. We had a vision, boom, boom, boom. It went together pretty smoothly, pretty fast. Downstairs kind of took a long ass time and just was like, we were like dragging our feet a lot more with it. So just building it was already a lot, to be honest with you, off the rip. And then like currently right now, because I just pretty much, like you said, we just did the grand opening, like launched strip club, the other multi-set. It's like all open, available, going crazy. So what I'm currently working on, it's like the marketing, man. Like, you know, Peerspace, Kickstarter, shout out to those platforms. They get us a lot of business, but you know, we got to rely heavily on our network, of course, as well. And then it's like just increasing that. How do you increase that? How do you keep good people coming back to your spot and new dope people continuing to come in and just use the rooms every day? All the rooms should be booked, you know? So spent a lot of money to build these things out. It takes a lot of time to maintain them and promote them and blah, 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 blah. So it's a lot, but thankfully we've created an ecosystem to where I meet artists there that book the studio, get them on the mag. They might use the recording studio. I might do consulting for them. I might work with them as an artist. I might all sorts of shit. Greedo might come through as he has before. Taylor Gang might pop up as they have before, you know? Shit like that just happens. It's real spontaneous. And then like, for example, this artist I keep alluding to tomorrow, talk to him. I could pitch the mag to him and he might do it. And it's like he came there. They paying us to be there and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I can still flip that coin and build a relationship, provide value to them.
Yeah, show all the different types of services you have to offer besides whatever part of the space they're using.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, of course, you know, come in and show me love, but I'm going to show you love on the pricing. But then boom, this is what else we can do. And, you know, so it's interesting what we've created, man. It blows me away all the time. Not going to lie.
What are some of the bookings like? Do you have any memories that have really stuck out to you over the years?
Through the bookings at the studio? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have one in particular. Shout out to my homie Freddie Bomb, man. Definitely a cool ass dude. I met him just as a booking. He just, you know, I think his homie booked the studio and he was there modeling for them. Met him. Super humble guy, great artist, great songwriter. We got in a couple sessions and I don't think we ever got a song in yet still, but like just worked with me and like we're always like on good terms, you know. So shout out to him, really good person. I Smoke Beats, really dope artist from New York. Literally was out here from New York, booked our Peerspace, told him about the magazine and everything, and he fucking with it. He on this current mag, so he already flew back from New York to do our mag shoot, and then he's coming back in September to do the show.
That's hard.
From New York, yeah.
And where's the show gonna be at?
So the show for issue 12 magazine, Underground Magazine, is going to be at Adults Only, Sunday, September 15th. And then, yeah, and we also got some other dope, like exclusive covers. That's what we call it. That's kind of like this 310 baby one right here.
Like Bow.
So, yep. So we put like the bigger artists, influencers, DJs, producers, whoever, give them their own cover. And then we do like the upcoming artist group covers kind of thing. So there's different type of vibes, right? So we do like a release weekend. We might do the show with all the main artists. Like all the main artists, they always perform showcase vibes every issue. But then 310 baby, we might do a meet and greet with him if it works with the schedule and timing and makes sense, whatever, right? So on the next magazine, we've already rolled out Lefty Gunplay, Wally the Sensei. We got another one dropping this week, a couple more dropping before it's out. I think we might do like a big meet and greet with all of them or something for that. So like that's still in progress here. September 15th is that weekend. So even maybe some Friday the 13th shit that weekend. Who knows? But yeah, it's in progress, man. Like as we're rolling out one mag, we're working on the next. And then I'm working on this, that, the album. It's like so much shit all the time, bro. It's crazy, you know?
Speaking of 310 baby, like how did you end up like getting him on the cover? And like, because when I'm watching the content you guys like shot throughout that cover, it seems like he really appreciates the brand and everything you guys bring to the table.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, shout out to my boy Brian Tikas, man. Shots by Tikas. He's one of the GOAT photographers out here.
Oh,
right
shout out
now.
my boy Tikas, yeah.
Yeah. He going crazy. Been going crazy. So I gotta give my boy his flowers real quick. He's the one that introduced me to Pico Shaw, who is basically 310 baby's like creative director, kind of road manager. He does a lot of his videography work. Real cool dude, real solid. Shout out to Gentry as well at Empire. That, you know,
Gentry Salvatore, he's been having this kid go crazy, man.
Yeah, yep. So and not only did we get to do the magazine with them, but I also opened for him at the show that he just did at the Novo for his like whole graduation show. That's what it was. So I had to open for him with Casey family. Shout out to Casey family. It was like 2,500 people. That shit was crazy. So shout out to 310 baby for that opportunity, man. That was like a really big moment for me. But yeah, we got him on the mag like real smooth through Brian. And it's funny because Also, shout out to Courtney and Natasha at the Ventura Music Hall, because we were over there at the Ventura Music Hall. It's a dope venue over there. Rosecrans Vic tapped me in with them, of course. And yeah, we were over there chilling. I think we were at, oh yeah, I had open for Kaylin too at the music hall. So
a few months back.
Yeah, I don't even remember what time now. Maybe in April or something like that. Yeah, I think it was in April. And so 310 was there and I met him, you know, took a picture with him, whatever. And then Brian was like, yo, let's, you know, meet Pico. You should get 310 on the mag. So I'm like, all right, cool. Brian's tapped us in with a few people for the mag, like True Car, a couple people. I can't think who else off the top of my head, but yeah. And so fuck, what was I just saying? I don't even remember.
No, you were talking about how you opened up for him at the Novo.
Oh yeah. And then and how we got him on the mag and shit. But yeah, the Novo was crazy. I mean, that all happened simultaneously. Also, I know his DJ, Charlie Cinco. Shout out to DJ Charlie Cinco.
Charlie Cinco doing a lot for up and coming artists as a whole.
Facts.
Like if you don't have him in your like marketing rollout for your tape, you're probably fucking up.
That's what I'm saying. I be telling people that shit all the time. Big shout out to Charlie Cinco. Like he really, I give him his flowers, and I always tell people all the time, and I tell him all the time for real. His promo is like some of the best in the game. And yeah, real solid. But so I had a relationship with him already, seen him posting about the Novo, so that I just boom boom did it. I had to sell some tickets. I had to sell like 50 tickets. I sold them all for real.
Got them shits gone, huh?
No problem. And there was like $50 a piece. Y'all motherfuckers put me through it, but we did it. Shout out to everybody who came to that show, bro. It was lit.
Was that one of the biggest crowds you've ever done?
The biggest crowd I've ever done for sure. The Kaylin show was the biggest crowd before that, like 500 people, and that was like a solid 500 that were like actually really fucking with me. You know, it was like a really good crowd. Like I would say that show was like more fun than the Kaylin one, just because everyone was really rocking with us. But the Nova was just like so many people that it was like insane.
Was it nerve-wracking at points?
A little bit going into it, like right before it. But then once I got up there, not really. So you just kind of in it once you're up there, you know?
That's hard.
Yeah, man. I love performing, bro. It's nothing like it. Especially like I said at that Kaylin one. It was just like such a vibe once you get the people's attention. And like something I learned that my boy Casey put me on to, it's like, it's not about us when we're performing, it's about the crowd. You know what I'm saying? So playing some music, we put Waka Flocka in the middle of our shit. At the Novo, I had dancers and I had them come out, or they were dancing the whole time, but in the middle, they did a dance battle to Sexy Red.
Okay, know? So you made it like a real interactive experience where people were engaged all the way through.
Yeah, because it's like people are too small-minded to think about that type of shit, but it really is important because it's not about you. You know what I'm saying? It's really not about you at that moment. Like, yeah, you want to get your shit off and have them fuck with your music, but like it's really about making them have a good time
and instilling a memory. Because like all that little extra stuff you did, even if they don't like pull up their phone and Shazam the song that's playing like while you're performing, like they're gonna remember the experience you left them with.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it's just making it like a party. It's fun. It's like it doesn't need to be that serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? Until those people are there to see you, like then act like that, you know? But like know your role, you know like what you are. You're an opener for the show. Like make it fun, you know?
And I feel like people lose sight of that a lot.
People lose sight of that. So it's like that. It's really important to just be like realistic with what it is and shit. Even I was just talking to TK about maybe doing some opening shit for Greedo shit. Like
from our Baron?
Like, yeah. Yep. Shout out to TK and Picasso and shit. Like he's like, nobody want to hear more than like 3-4 songs. It's true. Like, you know, you don't need that long. I had a 15-minute set at 310. But again, I didn't make it all 15 minutes about us. We put Sexy Red in the middle. We put another part where we were throwing shirts, had YG playing, like for real. So we're not stingy about that shit and just trying to get every bar out or some, you know.
You sound like a very seasoned performer. How many shows do you think you've done in your life at this point?
A lot, bro. Like 100 plus at least.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I've done a lot of shows, bro. Like little shows, you know. I've done a lot of little shows. I've toured. I've done a small tour. I've done our own little small tours. I've opened for a lot of artists now. I've done a lot of shows, bro. Been rapping a long time, you know.
Since you were 14, right?
Yeah, I mean, I started really like I started fucking around 14, 16, 17. I kind of got back into it. And yeah, by 17, I was putting out music, handing out mixtapes, fucking doing my thing, doing shows.
I was talking to this kid MC Bob here last week. I don't know if you've heard of him.
That's so funny. I just was talking to his manager.
Oh, Jay?
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Jay, man.
Yeah, and when he
It's
was
funny
here,
as hell that you bring him up.
yeah, bro, he came in here with a boa constrictor.
What the fuck? Like
Had
a
Mark over
snake?
here tripping. Yes, a snake.
Why he brought that through?
I don't know, for the thumbnail, I appreciate it. Like even his other manager, Dev, he was not fucking with it. But
Yeah, you should film something for me.
I say that to say that he told me because he's quite a technical rapper for his age. He's only 19, and he told
He's
me
19?
like, yeah, bro, you probably wouldn't guess from his music or like how he presents himself. He looks like a little bit of an older cat.
Yeah.
But he said for like the first 3 years, like he was like objectively like not that good. He was not that nice.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your music, how long did it take to you from 14 onward to be like, okay, I feel like I know what I'm doing when it comes to like crafting records and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's a good question. You know, it's you never feel like you just have it fully down. Also, probably it's I feel like there's always something that feels like you're continuing to learn on that aspect of it.
Most def.
But I remember being a lot younger, wondering like, oh, how could I even work with so and so artists? And then you just find yourself working with them and stuff. It's like I don't know that you ever just like feel it, but then you just find yourself there and you're like, damn, look how far I've came, you know, because you stay consistent at it. It's hard to pinpoint. You know, I remember like working on some of my first projects because I put out a shit ton of mixtapes. And same thing that I would probably say like he did. Like my first couple years making music, I definitely was not like super great. Like my voice was very high, or whatever, all sorts of shit. And just production, just learning it, you know? And then yeah, I couldn't pinpoint it, but I definitely remember like I had an album called Dynamic that I put out maybe in 2017. That's like pretty good, you know. I don't love all of it to this day, but some of it is cool. Then like Rhythmic was the album that I was working on like before Underground. That was like that whole kind of run that I was doing when I went to Boston, like I was telling you. So when I made Rhythmic, that was like a huge thing for me. That's when me and GM Beats met. I started going to a lot of different studios, working with different artists. I wasn't using autotune yet. I was still just rapping without autotune. And then I met another engineer after that named Rula. Shout out to Rula. He definitely helped me a lot, like helped me learn how to use autotune, how to kind of make records instead of just like rapping, you know?
Once an engineer like is down to help like develop you in the sense of like, okay, these are the presets you need to craft the sound that you're
Yeah.
trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like that's like game changing.
Pretty much. Cause like right before that, I started messing around with like autotune at another studio. And I remember this guy just totally played me. It just was not sounding right. But you know, it was just me starting to get the interest in it. And I was messing with it, whatever. I started listening to different artists that would make more melodic music and stuff like that. Then I started I was talking about my boy Charlie Stardom earlier. Shout out to Charlie Stardom. You gotta have him on this motherfucker. He raw.
You got to get me in contact with, bro. I'm with it.
Definitely. He like a crazy R&B singer, and like he introduced me to this whole world of R&B singers like December, I mean all sorts of people. So yeah, it's just my world just continues to just be opened up constantly to these different things, and it'll make me want to learn and try different things. But yeah, I remember like before I had worked with a lot of the rappers that I have now, I always think like, damn, you know, could I get in there and work with them in the studio? Like, how would I feel? Like, and still you can trip yourself out about that shit. You just really just got to do it, you know? Like when I got on my song with Chike, shout out AZ Chike, it was completely natural and organic, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't planned at all. So
How'd that come into contact? Like, was he here for a shoot for himself, or like, how'd you guys first get acquainted?
yeah, so I was at Cypress Moreno's party, one of his parties that he was doing for Pro Club or something.
Over at the Cat 22 spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That's a legendary spot over on Pico, bro. I
Yeah.
threw my first artist album release party over there. Like,
Nice.
shot a couple music videos over there. Cypress is like, he comes up in so many of these conversations.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, he's again one of those ones that's just like behind everything in the culture, you know. And him and I have a great relationship, and he comes through my studio all the time. And fuck yeah. I mean, you know, shout out to Cypress. And yeah, it's funny because at his party, I had the magazine and we didn't have any really like big rappers on it yet. That issue, we just kind of started getting some bigger artists, but no one of Chike's stature yet or anything.
And timeline, when was this?
This was like, I don't fucking know.
Just a year.
Like probably 2 years ago, 2022, I guess.
That's when I feel like the covers really started like, oh, they're getting more official motherfuckers on there.
Yeah, pretty much. I can't really pinpoint it, but something like 2 years ago. Yeah, I met Chike. And that's kind of when the whole concept came out. Like, all right, we do these group covers, that works. We kind of do our services and packages for that and everything cool. But then like I meet Chike and I'm like, how do I he wants to be on the mag, you know, how do we put him on the mag? But we already have these other people. Like, oh, just give him his own, you know, give him his own cover, but have it be the same mag. He just gets his own version. It's like a collector's edition, you know? And then it like clicked. And then it was like, oh shit, now we can like leverage Chike's name to now go get more people of his stature. And then we did that. And then we started getting bigger people and we got DJ Charisma, Hit Boy. You know, that was a big one. That. Yeah. When
Zaytoven is fucking crazy.
No, yeah. I mean, that was nuts. You know, that was nuts. Met Zaytoven out here in LA. And certain people, you already know, like there's certain relationships that and it's fucking Zaytoven, you know, but just something about it still just told me to just keep pressing on trying to go to Atlanta to work with him or try to catch him when he was in LA. And I just tried. And shout out to Al Nuke as his manager. Finally, he was like, here's the email, send an email, you know, finally get the email back. Like it just was a very long process, but we got it, you know, finally flew out there with our whole team. Just dropped a music video today, actually called Long Run, that we shot at the studio at Patchwork. It's called in Atlanta in the A room, like super fire. Zaytoven was in there hearing my music and everything. Like
that must have been surreal for you.
Big legendary. Yeah. He's super regular. That's like the funny thing about all this shit. It's like, yeah, it's also like, it's all super surreal and crazy, but these people are just so regular.
Yeah, you get to like see them in like a more human perspective than when they're like on stage or in a music video and stuff. You've been able to cultivate real genuine relationships with all these folks. And I just think the Zaytoven one stands out so much because, you know, LA, it's a big ass city, but at the end of the day, this industry is very small. Right. So once someone finds out you have quality work in whatever field you do, word spreads.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But for you to be able to tap in with arguably a top 5, top 3 producer in Atlanta, period,
I know,
and have them on an LA publication,
no, for real,
that speaks volumes.
And that's also like to that point, like I don't even want to be considered a LA publication. You feel me?
Okay.
I want to get so many fucking people from elsewhere that they can't call us a LA publication. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, right now they're gonna refer to us like that because we are like more so based and covering everything in its mom in LA. You know, but you know now with this Zaytoven one, and just as we continue to grow, I mean, I'd love the whole idea of Undrgrnd is to cover the different scenes and cities throughout the country, for real, states and just all that, you know. So I'd love to do a Detroit mag, or I'm even talking to my homie about doing a Bay Area mag right now, San Diego mag, you feel me?
Oh, definitely got to tap in with you on that one.
Yeah, like all that. So that's the idea for Undrgrnd, you know. Obviously we taking over LA, you know. I want that. Like I'm definitely constantly chasing the top, you know, whatever it is in anything I'm doing. And I think that we got the hottest fucking magazine in LA. I don't see nobody else with a magazine better than ours.
Or as consistent.
You know, we got the studio to back it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I like to stay humble about it and let our work speak, but we definitely building something like super legitimate, and we're working with legitimate people. And I'm very confident that like, it's just a matter of time. Again, watching someone like my brother Vic, who I met almost 5 years ago now, or just about probably 5 years now. You know, I remember where he was at, not far from where I'm at now.
Yeah, so you understand it only takes that one big break to really change the momentum of everything.
Yeah, and you know, shout out to Vic. And just speaking of that, it's like he found his niche, you know what I'm saying? He's got the LA hip hop shit on lock, dialed. That shit is nothing, you know what I'm saying? then he randomly stumbled into more his roots, his heritage,
What he really
his
wanted to
Latin,
do, what he went to school for, this journalism shit through
that
like the radio.
but and that too, but more just also his Latin culture, you feel me? His Mexican culture.
And they embraced the hell out of him.
And that's what I'm saying. He figured that shit out. And like, not everybody is able to figure out their niche. And I think that we've done a good job at doing that. I think that I still have a ways to go of finding my niche the right way as an artist, as a fucking whatever the fuck I am in this scene, right? Just
No,
like
for
a
sure.
content creator, interviewer, all these different things that I do. I manage an artist. I do consulting for people. I'm a business guy 80% of the day. I gotta like force myself to be an artist, but not in that way. It's like I gotta force myself to like stop the other shit and work, on what I feel best doing. But it's just a lot going on with that shit. So
I feel like one of the things that has really helped Vic, especially with what you said, his break in the Latin community, is curating a team around him that really covered all the bases where not that he lacked that could complement what he had going. Yeah, like whether it's Letty, Duno, my boy Eric behind the keys and everything. He really put everyone in place to really have it being a well-oiled machine. Yeah. How was it as you've been building out the Undrgrnd team? Like, how important was like putting the right people in position?
Still, yeah, to this day, we're still trying to continue to build the team the right way. It's everything, it's hard and it's difficult to keep people like enthusiastic the whole time. It's really rare when you find people that are really enthusiastic and keep that enthusiasm and energy going. Those are the people you want to keep around. You're not always going to see eye to eye with people. You're not always going to have fun and shit. It's not about having fun. You're
about getting the job done.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like, I didn't get into this shit to make friends for real. We trying to accomplish something huge, and so it's like you got to see a bigger picture. You got to be willing to sacrifice all the regular things that most people don't, and then when you find people like that, it's real. And so it be the people too that you like would kind of overlook. Like I got the homie, not overlook even like that, but just you wouldn't think that if you put them in position that they would fucking go crazy
and take it as serious as they do.
Yeah. Like shout out to my boy Zuma. Like he know what it is. Like I've been, rocking with him for a long time and he's supported me for a long time. But just recently he was like, I want to get more on the sales side of Undrgrnd. I want to learn, I want to make some money. All right, cool, bro. Come on. Like I'm gonna embrace you if you get into it. But I'm gonna be the first one to tell you that you're not getting into it if you're not. So absolutely. I'm really like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna hold back on people. So it's like a fine line too, because I also have a issue, I think, a little bit with kind of you can get really high expectations and then it's really easy to get your expectations kind of get let down easily if you have high expectations, right? So having reasonable expectations for people, I'd say when you're building a team, if someone's listening to this and they're learning from this, it's like you got to be patient with people. One, you got to give people a clear plan. Like imagine trying to train somebody into your team. You don't even give them a clear plan. There's no, how are you going to have expectations for them? You don't even give them, the right tools for that.
Yeah. Point them in the right direction. You're just watching them freestyle and hoping they do the best at what you didn't really specify what you want done.
Right. And exactly. And like, even if you are like giving a little, you got to be really specific with that type of stuff. And like, especially even if you're paying people, but especially if you're not, it sounds weird. It's like if you're not paying people, it's almost more like they're almost more likely to just fuck off. You know what I mean? So it's got to be even more specific if you're not paying them, but you're training them to potentially pay them later. It's very, very interesting. But again, like we've had great people part of the team. Tikas, Noah Kudal, great photographers. So many people that I can't even name all of them. Everyone's going to get mad at me if I start naming them and don't name them all. So it's a huge team. I mean, it's unbelievable. A lot of freelancing going on, a lot of like that type of shit. It's not like we have employees yet on the company, but I would love to sooner than later have that really start to get into place. And that's what you need to grow. You got to market shit. You got to have a manager, operations. You want to put these magazines out consistently. It takes a lot. People have no idea, man, for real.
They really don't until you're in the position where you're like, there's not enough hours in the day to handle all the positions at play to get this done myself.
Yeah, and just like how far you want to take it. You can only take it so far yourself.
100%.
You feel me? And try to do especially, all right, you doing one thing, you might be able to give that shit your all and really do most of it, but then that's all you're gonna do. And then what happens if that fucks off? Then you fuck. You gotta diversify yourself too. So it's all relevant, man. You also gotta know when to not work and just like fucking spend time on your own personal stuff, Big on that.
How important is it for you to like come back to reality in the sense of completely doing things outside of the industry so that you have like a clear mindset going back into this shit?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's just like more, I don't even know how to put it. Like, it's more just relaxing. I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty clear sense of it. And like, I feel like everything I've gone through, all these years of getting to here is like, I was kind of telling her, it's like you want things for so long. You want to like meet these people, work with these people, do these opportunities and shit. It's like by the time you get them, it's not really what you thought it was going to be. And like I'm at that point now where it's just like I'm really just letting it go. I'm flowing with it. I'm working hard. I take my time off to spend time with her, to enjoy myself, to do what I need, hit the gym. Those are the things that are important to me. But then also I know what my purpose is in this shit. Like, so I feel like I'm like I can't even believe that this is my reality every day. I mean, it's unbelievable that I get to do this shit to me, you know?
It's believable, especially once I hear you talk because you put the steps in to make this happen. It's unbelievable
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
see
for
some
sure.
kid get a random TikTok hit and it's just like you meet them and they're off a
Yeah.
bunch of Percocets and their manager's like walking them up and down the stairs of the studio. That's when it's unbelievable. But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see all the steps that surmounted to where you are today, and I want to applaud you for that.
Thank you, bro. No, I
Uh,
appreciate that for real.
it's genuine, for real. The Undrgrnd album, man.
Yeah.
You booked out a mansion.
Yeah.
You brought in how many artists would you say in the 2-3 days you were shooting?
Like 15 plus. Yeah, like some like 15 artists, 5 producers, give or take.
Reminded me of like a mini version of the Dreamville sessions back in like 2018 when Cole was having all these people from wherever the fuck come in and just
Yeah.
see what comes out of it.
Pretty much. Pretty
Um,
much.
you debuted a video at the release party.
Yeah.
What's the rest of the rollout for this looking like?
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, like, well, I got one more thing probably coming. We got that West Coast Vibe song on there with me, Mylon the Perrys, Murph, and Go Leaky.
Shout out my boy Leaky.
Yeah, man, on me. Like that was lit. Leaky slid through. So there was a couple extra people that slid through, like himself. Jumped on the album, so that was cool. I had to jump on that motherfucker. I wasn't on that one at first, so I had to slide a little verse on that one for sure.
You're like, oh, y'all gassing up like this? Nah.
That shit was hard. Yeah, yeah. And I had brought Leaky through. I was like, all right, this is only right. So I think we might do a video to that. We playing it out. It's got so much going on, but yeah, the Big Deal music video. That's when we premiered at the grand opening and the album show. So that shit was lit. And yeah, I mean, honestly, bro, kind of let those flow. Like we don't have a ton going out for the rollout of it. That was kind of a big part of the rollout. We do this dope release event, mix it with the grand opening, have all the artists perform. The rollout was then following the camp too, and then we're gonna probably do another camp soon and probably do more albums. So it's less of like having this crazy long promotional rollout. It's more of just like we made some dope music, put it out there, just keep it rolling. You were there, you felt the energy that night, you saw the community, the vibe. We just want to keep that going. I'd rather keep that 50 to 100 people going and happy and fucking lit than give a fuck about crazy rollout promo, blah blah blah. Honestly, is where I'm at like today.
You're keeping it all organic, bro.
Yeah, I really am. And like it's just funny because I looked forward to an event like that more than like the Novo show, and all respect to them and shit. It was dope as hell to do that. But it's like that wasn't my moment. You know what I'm saying? That was bro's moment. And that was cool to be there for that. Don't get me wrong, and to open for that and to do that. But my own show at my studio, grand opening of my second studio, ribbon cutting.
Talk to these niggas, man.
That shit was different, bro. Like they don't get it, bro, for real. And 50 to 100 people in there, that shit, for one, you put on Instagram, go crazy. Just like the other footage, go crazy for 2,500 people. It don't matter. But yeah, it's unbelievable, bro. For real. Like when you have that type of energy in the room and support, you're just like, wow, like look what I've done.
Off an idea that you made a tangible thing, right?
Yeah, and a little bit of a lucrative thing too. Again, we running a business, bro. I'm not scared to say it. You feel me? We running a fucking business. Like, people definitely are paying to be a part of these things and whatever, but like we're not fucking them around, and that's the point. Is we providing more than enough, like over the top value. Like I'm not even about to give all the free game right now of really exactly how it went, but it's like, nah, yeah, like if you come to Underground, bruh, motherfuckers know, like we are not stingy about our shit, and like we gonna take care of you. If you see our vision, like then you definitely gonna get out of anything that you do with us, for real. It's like over the top, every time.
I love how even though you have these big artists like the 310s, the Zaytovens, the big hits, the hit boys, you always double back and bring it back to the name and the mission statement of Undrgrnd Magazine. Like,
yeah,
like you said, this is cool, but I feel like long term this is more impactful because you're doing something that a lot of publications, a lot of radio stations, a lot of outlets like myself wouldn't even think of.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
When I see someone like the Real Brown Boy, who I know has been working his ass off to get on every show possible and really like sees every opportunity possible, and you're showcasing him, it's like, okay, this shows people that if you apply yourself and put yourself in the right positions, you will see the fruits of your labor.
For sure. And it's just like we're approachable, we're down to work with anybody who's like working and going hard, like you said, and busting their ass, and like easy to communicate with and work with. Like, it's not unreasonable, for real. So, but yeah, it's definitely something that a lot of people miss out on, is like the upcoming artists. And it's just funny because that's who's gonna blow. You know what I'm saying? Those are the next people. It's gonna be one of those people, and they are gonna have started on Underground, and that will be,
and they'll never forget where they started. So the fact you're tapping in with all of them early, like you're just planting the seeds to have them as a cover, have them on your album, like collaborate on a pop-up or a show. Like,
also, I mean, the endless possibilities, for real. And then in turn, though, it's dope. I mean, for 310 to be humble enough to be on the magazine and not question, oh, who are these other artists on here? And oh, I can't be with all these blah, blah, blah. Like, people got crazy egos like that, bro.
Especially out here in the West. And I feel like this is the region where it's the least justified. Like I was just telling you, I saw Lucky yesterday.
Yeah.
Lucky is from Atlanta, and he sold out 3,000 people in San Diego, and that's not even a hip hop market.
Yeah.
San Diego's more of an EDM market. They use the stadiums for like raves and shit.
Right.
So it's like, I feel like sometimes people have to humble themselves and understand we're all trying to get to the same destination. But for 310 to be that humble, and like I looked at his metrics, like kids coming up on like 1 billion or 2 streams.
Yeah, it's
like,
fucking crazy. And exactly, he didn't have to do that. He could have totally not taken it seriously. I didn't even know how he was gonna be in the interview. I honestly thought he might have just kind of not cared, and he's young and whatever. But he was so cool. Gave us a great interview. Gave us a great time, and super chill guy. He wasn't like an asshole to work with or anything. So it's really cool that he does that. That these guys will post the magazine cover. Like that really goes a long way for us and for these other artists, and just for everything, for the credibility of our brand. I mean, it's huge. Zaytoven to jump on there. I mean, he doesn't have to do a fucking thing again. But now that we just have that Zaytoven Underground magazine, it's huge. And
it's a huge notch on your resume, and you don't know what doors that could open for you in the future.
Right.
Especially when you try to tap into more of the Atlanta market. Be like, bro, I got Zaytoven on here.
Exactly. I mean, we're already in talks with the recording studio out there, Patchwork, that we did everything at, about maybe doing some more events with them and just keeping the ball rolling. And exactly, it's like, who knows who else we could meet from Atlanta, or even I've had big artists from Detroit just come into our studio. I mean, it's anything can happen at this point,
For sure. What are some plans you have in the next couple of years for Pofsky, the artist, and then Undrgrnd, not just the studio, but the brand as a whole?
Yeah. So For me, I'm really trying to right now just kind of take a little bit of a step back from like what I've been doing with my music in terms of the way that I've been releasing it and even kind of going about it. And I want to just kind of like almost just start fresh, and just on some like, I want to try to make some new music. Like, I make music all the time. I record constantly. I have my own recording studio, not as much as I'd like to re recording, but pretty often, and
Probably booked out a lot. You don't have the availability to like that.
not even that. It's more me. It's just like I'm there 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10. I'm up at 6, whatever, doing this and that. I'm working till 8, 9. And then like GMs coming in to do a session or even to just cook up. And I'm like tired trying to leave because I'm just like, it's more about the daytime, And all this studio shit happened in the middle of the night. Last night our recording studio was booked from 11 to 6. I woke up at 6 a.m. and my boy was leaving the studio.
That's how it be.
It's
Graveyard shifts are somewhere where the best hits come out.
Yeah, and like I was on that for years, I'm just not on that now. So I'm kind of trying to like flip it a little bit. I want to work on a project that's like all solo Pofsky, like no features, put out a lot of feature music. And that's cool. And I'll continue to collab with people and shit, but I want to put out an album because I've been like working on an album, like not so like really working on it, but just like trying. I had this concept for an album for a while. I've just been making music and doing shit, and I always been like, oh, once I get this, I'll be ready to put out an album. And I just felt like I kept doing that. I kept just being like, oh, once I get, I got this song with Chike, but all right, once I do the Kalen show, all right, once I do the Novo, once I get this, once I, and it's just like, what the fuck again, back to that concept. It's like, fuck all that other shit. Like that shit's cool, but just come back to you. I have people that will pull up to these shows. I sold 50 tickets at like $50 a piece. I mean, that's crazy.
Most people can't sell 10 tickets at $15 a piece.
That's what I'm saying, and so even I did a Zoe Sama show at the observatory. I don't even live anywhere close to Santa Ana, and I sold 50 tickets to that as well. It's like, if I put out my Pofsky solo album and did a show, like, and I could have 100 people there right now, cool. I should be more focused on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of shit I'm trying to like lock in more. It's just like maybe once a week or something. I'm just in the studio. I'm, even if I'm there super late and I can't go to the gym the next day, whatever, lock in right now on some solo music. I'm trying to structure a whole album. I got a whole concept for the rollout of it, but I just need to focus on the music. Want to get more personal. I want to talk about more of my life, which is something I've never really done. Yeah, I just want to get into it, make a dope project, like good music. You feel me? I'm not trying to make like just some hits or something. I just want to make like some good music. It doesn't even have to be like all sad and shit, but just like different types of music, R&B, rap shit, this, that, maybe some pop shit, whatever. Playing with my sounds, do something dope, So that's the long answer to what I'm trying to do with Pofsky as an artist, And then with Undrgrnd, it's like, I'm trying to just continue to get the studio going crazy. I want to continue to see dope artists, big artists coming through, using our strip club set, using our other multi-set with the bedroom and the orange for it, pink room, the kitchen. Go crazy with that. I want to see us do more custom magazines for brands, for artists, for rollouts, for artist albums that they're putting out like we did for Big Hit. I want to do custom magazines for more people like that, for weed brands, for all sorts of shit. We're going to eventually have other magazines in our network and stuff like that. So maybe it might be a freaking magazine about anything. You know what I'm saying? It could be just a lifestyle magazine, but not named Undrgrnd, that could be in our network. Increasing the network of a lot of things. I mean, record label, my artists I manage. It's a lot, bro.
Who's your artist?
Henna Tabara is her name. She's a dope R&B singer, 22 years old, just graduated from UCLA. And then I also manage a producer artist named Preacher to Him Chris.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely check both of them out.
Yeah, check them out. I'd love to bring them both through too, for real.
Hey, this is home to you, Mal. Like, you've always been so welcoming to me, so I'm big on reciprocating energy. And like I said, it's dope to see that we've both been growing in our spaces over the past few years.
Not for real.
What are some of the things that people can expect in the near future?
Yeah, near future, I mean, I don't even know right now. another camp, like I was kind of touching on. We definitely got another camp in the works. We got issue 12 Underground magazine dropping next month. Then we gearing up for another mag, you know, whenever this comes out. We're kind of always looking for artists, but
I'm gonna put you on to some fire, bro. Trust me.
yeah, put me on and we'll talk for sure. And yeah, our next magazine, we shooting it on September 22nd. That's the day where we do like what's called our media day. So we'll shoot it on September 22nd. Then that actual hard copy mag will come out in January. So between then, October to January, February, we're rolling out that issue 13. So every 3 months, you're getting a new mag from us. Studio going crazy, more partnerships. I got a lot of really cool shit in the works that I can't really talk about yet until it's just like
Locked in.
yeah, you know?
I know how it be, bro.
Yeah, I'm just excited for people to see what's coming. Really cool partnerships. I'm just so excited and always just like so amazed by the cool people I continue to meet and the people that see the vision in what we do. Um, it's pretty humbling, bro. Pretty exciting to see where we're gonna be. I couldn't even imagine exactly who the next artists are we're gonna get, where we're gonna go, things we're gonna do, shows I'm gonna get. Like I don't even know. Really just kind of going with the flow right now, trying to work hard, keep my head down, stay humble, stay happy, all the things, bro. You know what I'm saying?
My last question: are you still having fun with this shit?
Yeah, bro. You know, I'm having a lot of fun with this shit. Like it's hard, you know, it's hard. It's not always fun. Again, like, but definitely having fun, loving it every moment. I think that the music is the side where you gotta like it's hard, bro. That's like the hard part out of all this. Cause it's like you want to just be an artist, but then you're doing all this other shit. And then you can get really hard on yourself. Like, oh, I know I'm making good music. I know I'm a dope artist. Why am I not, you know, seeing what I should or whatever. Um, so that's why I just really just want to take it back to that. Like I'm just making some music that I want to make, having fun, really just focusing on that kind of shit. Giving a fuck about the artist, features, names. Let that shit come, you know.
Like everything has so far for you, just organically, man. Well, I appreciate you coming through.
Hell
for
yeah.
real.
Appreciate you, bro.
No, for sure. And this isn't gonna be the last time. I can definitely tell that.
Hell yeah.
Tell the people where they can find you, where they can book the studio, all that good shit.
Yeah. So Underground Studios, check us out. Underground Studios LA on IG, Underground Magazine, undergroundmag.com, Pofsky. You check me out everywhere. POFSKY. All streaming services. IG, it's Pofsky3. Yeah, man, that's it, bro. Definitely would love to bring the team, man. There's a lot of dope people I got to introduce you to, and I'm excited to meet more people out your network and just keep building, bro.
That's what it's all about, brother.
Hell yeah.
Hey, man, season 2's going off with a fucking full swing. Thank you, my boy Pofsky, for coming through. Make sure to follow him, Underground Studios, everyone a part of his team. This is JR the AR. We're here in Petty Cash Studios, season 2, Colorblind Conversations, and we are out.